Have you ever felt like your brain is a suitcase busting at the seams? One more task, one more decision, one more thing to remember, and you're sitting on it trying to keep it closed. If that's you, this episode is for you today. I'm Larissa, a mental health therapist who blends psychology and faith with practical tools to help women and families step out of overthinking and survival mode. Welcome to Minds Made Steady. This is a Prosper Counseling podcast on faith, feelings, and practical psychology. Today, we are closing out this short series through my book, Prosper in Motherhood, by looking at chapters 13 through 16. This final stretch is for the mom who is trying to manage it all and feels like she is getting nowhere. Let's start with mom guilt because it almost always shows up first. Mom guilt tells you that you're not doing enough, that you're missing something, and that everyone else seems to be handling it better than you. But guilt is not always wisdom speaking. A lot of the time, it is exhaustion, comparison, and unrealistic expectations wearing wisdom in a costume. I want to tell you a story from the book. One night, I was tucking my daughter into bed, and it had been a long day. I had worked late, and I was tired, and I was rushing through the bedtime process so that I could get into my own bed. And my daughter was delaying the process and kept bringing up topics about pink unicorns and rainbows. And she said, "Mom, I have something to tell you." Frustrated, I stopped and I said, "What is it?" And she said, "Mom, I love you." I stopped. Here I was in my head listing every way I had fallen short that day, and my 3-year-old was looking at me like none of those things was true. So I softened and stayed a few extra minutes to snuggle. The dishes waited, the to-do list waited, and I reminded myself that I don't have to feel guilty for slowing down to love my kids. That is the heart of chapter 13. You trade the I have to and I can't for I get to and I can. Instead of I can't be the mother I want to be when I lose my patience, try can model asking for forgiveness when I lose my temper. That one shift changes the whole tone of your inner voice. Now let's talk about the suitcase. While I was writing chapter 14, I had asked my husband, what story could I share about feeling like you have to do everything and be everything for everyone? We were driving around running errands with the kids, and I couldn't think of one specific moment or story. And he looked at me and he said, "Every day." And we both burst out laughing. That feeling has always been there, quietly in the background of motherhood. Chapter 14 gets practical about that mental load, all the things you're carrying at once as a mom, maybe a spouse, an employee, a homeschool teacher, a friend. You cannot treat every single task like it is equally urgent and equally important. So here's a tool. Write down everything on your plate and then ask 2 questions about each item. Is this urgent? Is this important? Your sink full of dishes is probably not urgent unless you have no clean dishes left. Sorting your list this way gives you permission to let some things wait, and while you're letting things wait, look for glimmers, those small moments of warmth or joy, a good cup of coffee, sunlight coming through your kitchen window, hearing your children laugh. Noticing these tiny glimmers trains your mind to see more than just the stress, but that there actually are good bits in your day. Chapter 15 is where we talk all about self-care. And this is not a bubble bath and candle conversation. Although those are lovely, self-care is stewardship. Your body is where the Holy Spirit dwells, so caring for it is not selfish. It is part of tending to the person that God made you to be. Think about the wellness wheel. There are 5 parts: physical, spiritual, social, mental, and emotional. You don't have to do all 5 perfectly. Just pick one area that needs attention this week and start there. And if you need a simple way to remember it, the book uses the word improve. Imagery, meaning, prayer, relaxation, one thing at a time, vacation, and encouraging yourself. You don't need to do all 7 at once. Even one of those on a hard day can bring you back to steady ground. Finally, we land on chapter 16 and the word shalom. In Hebrew, shalom means peace, wholeness, lacking nothing. Not a life without hard things, but a life held together by God's peace in the middle of real things. And that is the whole vision of this book. Not a perfect mother, but a mother who is well and whole, who can notice her emotions without being ruled by them, and who can receive compassion, and who can trust that God is still guiding her through her good journey. Here is an affirmation to carry with you from this series. Doing everything does not make me a good mother. Knowing peace is forming wholeness in me, one faithful step at a time, and that qualifies me as a good mother. Thank you for walking through this whole series with me. If it has blessed you, would you please consider ordering Prosper in Motherhood on Amazon and reading chapters 13 through 16 for yourself? And leave a Google review. It helps others find the story and share the message for those who need practical tools too. And if you're ready for support that helps calm your mind, settle your nervous system, and feel steady again, you can book a free consultation or check out my courses online. Remember, God's design has your wellness in mind, and you can prosper in your good mental health journey. Shalom to you, friend, and I will see you next time. The information shared on this podcast is for educational purposes only. It's given with the understanding that neither the host, the show, the guests, publishers, or producers are giving legal, financial, professional, or clinical advice. Consult with your own licensed professional before implementing.